best of
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
that's not important right now. That's irrelevant. We don't care about those teams. Those teams suck. These teams, Empire and Virtus Pro, this is where we're at right now. So we have ourselves pretty much a pure CIS rumble. I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for these games. And hopefully they're going to be pretty good ones. That's all I can hope right now. We got a lot of support hate coming out of the first phase of banning. Can open things up to, well, pretty much anything you want. You want that Necrophos? Go ahead and pick up the Necrophos. The AA was already banned out, so the path is at least as clear as it can possibly get. And God, oh, my computer is messing up.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I may have fixed it for the first time ever. Hot damn. Okay, guys. Got Necrophos as well as the Spirit Breaker for Team Empire. A very aggressive start coming out from them. Love me some Spirit Breaker first pick. I think this is probably one of the better ways to open up your draft. Lets you be very aggressive, keeps you open to the Darkseer. Dual lane with the ion shells, incredibly potent. It is rather blatant though. Like as Virtus Pro, Nature's Prophet doesn't really want to be seeing that, and that is pretty much the drawback of picking up Nature's Prophet first, is that you tend to be facing up against more Spirit Breakers, more Bat Riders, and more Svens, and you're going to have, at least in general, a little bit of a tougher time. So it's up to Virtus Pro to kind of be more aggressive and kind of smooth that out themselves. With the Nyx Assassin, that is a pretty good way of starting. You know, not really like aggressive in the lanes necessarily, though we have seen teams pick up Nyx Assassin with heroes like Rubik and try to get those double stun combos going. And on heroes like a Necrophos, double stun with mana burn up against Necrophos. Oh man, that does a lot of damage. So you definitely have some power there. But this is going to be more so in the kind of map control aspect, where VP are going to look to try to make their bread. Nyx Assassin, of course, with the Scouting Vendetta. We got Nature's Prophet with the ability to teleport in as well. Nyx Assassin as well, just a very nice hero to have versus Spirit Breaker, since it's very easy to cancel a Spirit Breaker charge. Well, maybe not very easy, but it's one of the more one of the easier heroes to cancel a charge with. Let's just leave it at that. We'll see what's type of global scale VP want to take. Again, this is usually in the context of trying to buy space for a certain hero. An anti-mage type hero sometimes has
Empire's turn to pick.
options as to what they want to actually carry with. Looking for perhaps a hero that would be more happy to pick up with this from Virtus Pro. If they want to play really aggressively, they can go for like a Luna or a Lycan type hero. Try to bring down those towers really quickly, and with Nature's Prophet, you could definitely do that. Venomancer also still in the pool, and would also be a reasonable pick here for both sides. That Sven I mentioned is going to be banned out. One of the go-to heroes, position 1 heroes, for a counter Nature's Prophet. Once you get that Blink Dagger, you already have the cleave by that point for sure. His Treants push not very quickly up against the Sven, so it is going to be a pretty easy task for
Virtus Pro's turn to pick.
Jakiro pick for Team Empire. Pretty interesting. I'm not huge on Jakiro in general. I feel like you definitely do want to have some way of setting him up. The counter push versus Nature's Prophet, again, this is really valuable.
10 seconds
They're just
remaining.
looking for that babysitting type hero. I guess Jakiro's a solid one at poking. But what are the other options, right? Like, we see Shadow Shaman with Spirit Breaker sometimes, but Shadow Shaman is really clunky against Nyx Assassin as well as Nature's Prophet. You really don't want to have
Team Empire's turn to pick.
Oracle.
if you have to make a pick this blindly in the draft.
10
Virtus Pro,
seconds
though, going to
remaining.
grab an Oracle. And this is a hero that's, you know,
5 seconds remaining.
yeah, kind of 50-50. Again, much like the Jakiro, not really huge on the Oracle, but at least the Oracle has certain tells, right? You know when you should be picking up an Oracle. If you're up against Necrophos, if you're up against a Bat Rider, you should consider picking up an Oracle. Empire's still looking for their offlane, and as I said before, Darkseer is a possibility with this Jakiro pick for the Ice Path, Vacuum, Macropyre, Pain setup. Very, very powerful for sure, so we'll see if they want to do that. Really doesn't seem like, aside from that Nyx Assassin, that is going to be too problematic. Or an Axe, okay. Well, I mean, going back to this Oracle, like, you do ideally want to try to help your allies up against that Necrophos. That Scythe is magic. That makes you completely immune to magic, or your allies completely immune to magic. Seems like a pretty good combo to me. False Promise is going to be somewhat answered by this Empire pick of the Axe.
5 seconds remaining.
Looking for a very aggressive lane in that bottom lane. Definitely a run at you type style, Axe and Spirit Breaker. That's pretty much what they do, man. That is pretty much what they do. Only an Oracle to hold them back might be a little bit tough. I'm assuming Nyx Assassin is going to be the secondary support hero here as well. If they do charge in, yeah, there's a little bit of AoE with Fortune's End, Impale as well. Not too unreasonable. Right now, though, VP, they will that bottom lane. Be a little bit difficult. You maybe outrange them. You could try to just Juggernaut and fight them. That doesn't really seem that strong against Axe, though. You can go for an Ursa and just outmatch them. You can go for a Venomancer as well, still in the pool. Try to burn them down slowly but surely. Or you could say, yeah, we're just going to ignore that for right now. We're going to go ahead and go for a Puck. Another hero that is, pretty high value. Going to be left in the... Going to give Virtus Pro even more initiation. Nyx Assassin Scouting, again, setting up for Nature's Prophet, but now also the Puck. You're going up against Axe and Spirit Breaker, Coil, pretty strong, so... The Puck is, a reasonable pick here for Virtus Pro. It's not really super daring or anything like that. It's just a solid hero for the VP side to have. Starting the fights is a large-scale fight. Certainly is very different than starting engagements with Nyx Assassin and with Nature's Prophet teleporting in and stuff like that. You use that to pick off some random schmuck who's jungling, but you sometimes need to start a bigger fight, and Puck is certainly a hero that can do that, whereas Nyx Assassin, unless you have, like, the sickest Impale and a Blink Dagger, you're probably not going to be doing that very often. Huskar is banned out. Gotta fear that Oracle Huskar combo. Virtus Pro banned out. I wonder if there's any chance that they go for a Drow here. Like, it's really tough playing Drow up against Spirit Breaker, but Gust is pretty good. They have a lot of ranged heroes already, and they have a save hero. Like, that's pretty much all the checkboxes, right? Like, you're going up against an Axe Spirit Breaker, right? So you may be able to outrange them in the lane. With an Oracle there, you can disarm. It seems like it's a possibility. If they really are not interested in playing this game and they just want to go into game 2 as fast as possible, Jow's probably the hero to do it, honestly. Might perhaps be a little bit fragile, considering how Empire do have that Necrophos. Like, you may have that save ability, but you can't really depend on that all the time. Just going to be that Troll Warlord. The Troll Warlord is, perhaps not as direct as the Drow as far as the strategy is concerned, though they do accomplish fairly similar things. Like, what does Drow do? She gives an edge to all your lanes. She ends up not really crushing the lane, but it is certainly very powerful up against most lanes.
5 seconds remaining.
Troll Warlord is going to be, again, a lane that Empire can kind of just run at. And though he may be able to withstand it somewhat with the Whirling Axes, that evasion, or I guess evasion, mischance, whatever you want, mischance, evasion, it's the same thing. Up against those two heroes, it is a possibility, but Ghost Stick picking up the Axe now, and again, not much in the way of really high magic damage kill power, or even high physical damage kill power with this last troll warlord pick means the axe should be mostly fine. And of course, for the last pick Empire, they're going to pick up the probably easiest counter pick to make up against the mid lane.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
All right. So yeah, they have a good matchup in the mid lane. Chappie should be taking towards safe for the Empire side, and we'll see what Virtus Pro can actually do with this Nature's Prophet. I don't have super high expectations for an Oracle and Assassin combo. It is possible that they set up on a hero like Templar Assassin, but your sequencing of spells is so difficult there because VP, the way they gank is by damaging in chunks. There is really no damage over time here. So you want to count Treants, and I'm not going to count Treants because that doesn't seem like a solid damage over time tool up against a TA. So if they are going to look to gank that TA, it will require her to be constantly pushing up the wave, for no one to be doing some chip damage beforehand or something along those lines. Let's... Alright, we're in. Empire going to be on the Radiant side. Got Miposhka playing the Spirit Breaker. Prevent him first. As per usual, got Ghost Stick on the Axe top lane. Just gonna get that Poor Man Shield. Vanscore supporting as that Jakiro. Where's everyone else? Got FN here as Templar Assassin, and it looks like Chappie's a little bit faster out of the gate than I expected. I mean, this guy's old. He is smoked though, so 327 move speed, not bad. He got really far out of the fountain really quickly. Yeah, on that Necrophos, Solo is going to be handling the Oracle, and that is pretty much the drawback of picking up Nature's Prophet first, is that you tend to be facing up against more Spirit Breakers, more Bat Riders, and more Svens, and you're going to have, at least in general, a little bit of a tougher time. So it's up to Virtus Pro to kind of be more aggressive and kind of smooth that out themselves. With the Nyx Assassin, that is a pretty good way of starting. Not really like aggressive in the lanes necessarily, though we have seen Empire and Virtus Pro. This is where we're at right now. So we have ourselves pretty much a pure CIS rumble. I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for these games, and hopefully they're going to be pretty good ones. That's all I can hope right now. We got a lot of support hate coming out of the first phase of banning. Can open things up to, well, pretty much anything you want. You want that Necrophos? Go ahead and pick up the Necrophos. The AA was already banned out, so the path is at least as clear as it can possibly get. And God, oh, my computer is messing up.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I may have fixed it for the first time ever. Hot damn. Okay, guys. Got Necrophos as well as the Spirit Breaker for Team Empire. A very aggressive start coming out from them. Love me some Spirit Breaker first pick. I think this is probably one of the better ways to open up your draft. Lets you be very aggressive. Keeps you open to the Darkseer. Dual lane with the Ion Shells. Incredibly potent. It is rather blatant, though. Like, as Virtus Pro, Nature's Prophet doesn't really want to be seeing best of
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
That's not important right now. That's irrelevant. We don't care about those teams. Those teams suck. These teams